the importance of the fundamental practice exercises in Carnatic music, namely the Sarali varisais, Jantai varisais, Melsthai varisais, Alankarams, Dhatu varisais, etc. can never be overstated. Every musician in his or her formative years must go through the grind of not only learning to sing all of these correctly, but also be able to sing them fluently in the correct order that is prescribed by none other than the father of Carnatic music, the great Purandara Dasa, more than 500 years ago. The reason for this is that this order has been very carefully formulated by that visionary composer. If you look at Sarali varisais, for instance, you will see that the first one is just the scale. Sarigama padanisa, sanidapa magarisa. The next one gives you specific exercise on the note re. Sari, feri, feri, gama. Third one will give you complete focus on ga. Sariga, feriga, feri. The fourth one will be on ma. Fifth one will be on pa. Sixth on da. Seventh on ni. And then the eighth and ninth Sarali varisais will give you a little bit of sequences that are zigzag, going up and down, which is very important for training your voice for mobility. And the 10th one, which is going to be actually a 5 avartanams, unlike a lot of books which seem to split it into 1 avartanam each. This is actually a single Sarali varisai that is actually in 5 cycles of the tala. So that has to be sung together, and then akarams have to be practiced for each one of them. Initially, you can at least try to practice it in 3 speeds, as most gurus would teach you. But very good artists have practiced even 6 speeds and tried in various gatis and all that, but that is really not compulsory. Then, the next one that you're going to be looking at would be Jantai varisais, which give you very good control over an important gamaka called spuritam, which is all about force. In that, what we have to note is that every sequence is going to be focusing on pairs of notes. First time you sing it plain, second time you will be giving a force from the note below. But what is important is you will not be doing this blindly on all the notes. Now, for example, when you do this, here it's appropriate. But when you start singing other sequences from the second Jantai itself, there itself you will also be including kampitam and not only spuritam blindly. So these kind of nuances you will be really required to learn at this stage if you want to negotiate the kind of phrasings that will be happening in kritis or varnams or ragam tanam pallavis in your naravals or kalpana swaras and other improvisation as well. So anybody who skips these things and thinks that they are going to save time by going to the next segments of music like geetams or varnams or kritis, they are actually losing out a lot because their basics wouldn't have been even shaped properly for them to negotiate those things correctly and attractively. So the next part of this varishais is going to be Dhatu varisais, which gives you command over skipped sequences. Samagama, rega, feri, faga, rega, feri, gama kind of phrases. You will see them plenty in your advanced compositions. Then, alankarams give you an introduction to various other talas, because all these that I mentioned now are in Adi tala. Alankarams, there are actually 35, but 7 are very prominent that are usually rendered. And they will actually give you control over not only various talas, but also alertness to sing one after the other continuously when you are changing talas. Then, Melsthai varisais. I recommend that you sing Melsthai varisais at the end of these things, because your voice would have been warmed up in the main octave, whereas the Melsthai varisai will take you to the high re, high ga, high ma and high pa as well. So until your voice is warmed up in this main octave, I would recommend that you don't go to the Melsthai varisais. So keep them for the last, and then there are certain optional exercises to also improve your lower octaves, which I have added in my Perfecting Carnatic Music book as well, which we will share with you at the end of this. But these 5 that we are going to first cover are the traditional ones. Important to start singing them continuously with swaram first time, akaram second time. Whatever I say is as equally important for instrumentalists as it is for vocalists, because instrumentalists will be able to learn to articulate both the swaram and the sahityam in compositions that they will be encountering later in their lives. If they are able to do a good separation between the swaras, for which they have to either pluck or bow or tongue for every note, whereas for the akara part, they have to do it based on the phrasings and based on the natural continuity that their instruments allow them to use. So, we are now going to demonstrate all these varishais in sequence in the ideal order, and make sure that you practice along with this recording for a few days, few weeks, whatever it takes for you to memorize this order exactly, and then try it out alone.